Gemini, if you have recently felt that your mind is racing ahead of reality, as though an important message, decision, or opportunity is approaching but has not yet fully revealed itself, pay attention. August 16th, 2026, carries a particularly active energy for you. This is not a day to move through life on autopilot. Something you hear, discover, or suddenly understand could change the way you see the weeks ahead. You may begin the day thinking that everything is normal. And then something happens. A message arrives. Someone says something unexpected. A conversation takes a surprising turn. An old idea suddenly makes sense. Or you realize that the answer you have been searching for has been sitting in front of you all along. Today is about connecting the dots. And Gemini, when the dots begin connecting, your entire perspective can change very quickly. If this reading is meant for you, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Stay until the end, because August 16th has important messages for your career, money, love life, friendships, emotional world, and the decisions that may shape your future. The energy around you today strongly emphasizes communication and information. That is especially important for Gemini because your mind is one of your greatest sources of power. You notice details. You recognize patterns. You hear things other people overlook. You can understand different sides of a situation almost instinctively. But today, your greatest challenge may not be finding information. It may be knowing which information deserves your attention. There could be too many conversations, too many opinions, too many possibilities, too many ideas competing for space in your mind. And if you try to follow all of them at once, you may become mentally exhausted. So today, simplify. Ask yourself what actually matters. At work, August 16th may bring a conversation that deserves your full attention. A manager could mention a new responsibility. A colleague could tell you about an opening. A client could present an unexpected request. Or someone may finally respond to something you have been waiting to hear about. If you have been feeling professionally stuck, today's information could help you understand why. Perhaps you have been waiting for someone else to recognize your potential. Perhaps you have been doing work that no longer challenges you. Or perhaps you have simply outgrown your current routine. The important thing is not to react immediately. Listen first. Gather the details. Then decide. A professional opportunity may appear attractive because it is exciting, but you should also ask whether it offers long-term growth. Does it improve your skills? Does it increase your income? Does it introduce you to valuable people? Does it move you toward the future you actually want? Because Gemini, excitement is powerful, but direction is more important. If you have been considering a new career path, online project, business idea, educational program, or creative venture, today is excellent for research. You may discover information that changes your original plan. And that is not a problem. Sometimes the smartest decision is not abandoning the dream. It is improving the strategy. Financially, August 16th encourages you to become more intentional. You may receive information connected to money today. Payment could arrive. A financial obligation may need attention. Someone could offer you a business opportunity. Or you may suddenly see a way to increase your income. But don't let curiosity become impulsiveness. Gemini can sometimes become excited by possibilities before checking the practical details. Today, slow down before committing money. Read the conditions. Ask questions. Compare prices. Look at the long-term consequences. If someone promises easy money, be especially careful. Anything that sounds too effortless deserves closer examination. At the same time, don't become so cautious that you reject a genuinely valuable opportunity. The key is research. Knowledge is your protection today. You may also have an idea for an additional income stream. Perhaps you could use your communication skills. Writing, teaching, marketing, sales, content creation, translation, social media, consulting, technology. Your ability to communicate clearly can become more financially valuable than you realize. You don't always need to learn an entirely new skill. Sometimes you need to recognize the value of the skill you already possess. And today may help you do exactly that. Love and relationships become especially interesting because communication is at the center of everything. If you are in a relationship, there may be something you have been wanting to say. Perhaps you have been keeping a small frustration to yourself because you didn't want to create conflict. Perhaps you want more emotional attention. Perhaps you want to discuss the future. Or perhaps you simply want your partner to understand what has been happening inside your mind. Today is a good day to talk. But don't turn the conversation into an interrogation. Your goal should not be to prove that you are right. Your goal should be to understand each other. A gentle conversation could reveal that your partner has been thinking about the same issue. And if the relationship is healthy, honesty can strengthen the bond between you. But if there has been a pattern of avoidance, today's energy may make that pattern impossible to ignore. You may finally realize that silence has been creating more distance than honesty ever could. Gemini, relationships need communication, but they also need emotional presence. Sometimes the person beside you doesn't need another solution. They simply need to know that you are listening. If you are single, August 16th may bring a surprising romantic interaction. Someone could catch your attention through work, social media, friends, travel, or a completely ordinary situation. The interesting part is that the attraction may begin through conversation. Clever comment, a shared joke, an unexpected discussion, a message that makes you smile. You may feel mentally stimulated before you even realize that you are emotionally interested. And that is very Gemini. For you, the mind can open the door to the heart. Don't rush to define the connection. Let it develop. Someone who initially seems like simply an interesting person could gradually become much more important. There is also a possibility of hearing from someone connected to your past. If that happens, take a breath before responding. Ask yourself whether you miss the person or simply miss the version of yourself you were when you knew them. Those are two very different things. A past connection may return for closure rather than reconciliation. And closure can be just as valuable as another chance. Your social life may also become more active today. A friend could invite you somewhere unexpectedly. Someone may introduce you to a new person. You could enter a conversation that leads to a useful connection. Or a casual meeting may give you information that becomes valuable later. Don't underestimate spontaneous interactions. Your next opportunity may not come through an official meeting. It may come through a conversation you almost decided not to have. But there is a warning here too. Not every conversation deserves your energy. You may encounter someone who talks constantly but says very little. Someone may bring unnecessary drama into your day. Someone may try to involve you in an argument that has nothing to do with your future. Don't get pulled into it. Your attention is valuable. Protect it. Emotionally, today may bring a deeper realization. You may recognize that your mind has been carrying too many unfinished stories. Things you never said. Questions you never answered. Situations you never fully understood. People whose behavior you still analyze. Today, you may finally decide that you don't need every answer to move forward. That is powerful. Because sometimes peace comes not when we understand everything, but when we stop demanding explanations from things that cannot explain themselves. You don't need to know why someone left. You don't need to know why an opportunity disappeared. You don't need to know why a certain chapter ended. You only need to know what you learned from it. Your emotional freedom begins when you stop allowing unanswered questions to control your present. Your energy levels may also depend heavily on your mental state. If your mind becomes overloaded, your body may feel tired even if you haven't physically done much. Give yourself moments of silence today. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Step away from social media for a while. Take a walk. Listen to music. Write down your thoughts. Let your mind breathe. Gemini, not every thought needs to become a decision. Some thoughts are simply passing clouds. Let them pass. There is also a subtle warning around communication today. A message could be misunderstood. Someone might take your words more seriously than you intended. Or you could interpret someone else's silence incorrectly. Before assuming the worst, ask. Before reacting, clarify. Before ending something important because of one sentence, make sure you understand the full story. Your words have power today. Use them carefully. At the same time, don't be afraid to speak your truth. Being diplomatic doesn't mean hiding what you feel. You can be honest without being cruel. You can set boundaries without creating unnecessary conflict. And you can say no without explaining yourself for 20 minutes. That may be one of today's most important lessons. You don't owe everyone access to your time. You don't owe everyone an explanation. And you don't have to turn every disagreement into a debate. Your peace is more valuable than winning every conversation. August 16th may also bring an unexpected idea about your future. Perhaps you suddenly realize that you want to live somewhere different. Work differently. Earn money differently. Build relationships differently. Or simply live with less mental noise. Don't dismiss these thoughts. Write them down. Some ideas that appear suddenly are not meant to be acted upon immediately. They are meant to be remembered. Later, when the timing is right, you may return to them and realize that today's thought was the beginning of something much bigger. Pay attention to patterns today. A person mentioning a subject you have been researching. A job opportunity appearing unexpectedly. A repeated conversation about the same issue. A phrase that stays in your mind. A chance encounter. These moments don't need to be treated as guarantees of destiny. But they can help you notice where your attention is naturally being pulled. And sometimes your attention is pointing toward your next chapter before your logic understands why. By the evening, your mind may finally become quieter. You may reach a conclusion about something that has confused you for weeks. Maybe you know what to do about work. Maybe you know whether to continue a relationship. Maybe you finally understand how to approach a financial problem. Or maybe you simply realize that you don't need to decide today. That realization can also be an answer. Gemini, you don't have to solve your entire future in one day. You only need to stop running in 10 different directions at once. Choose one. Then move. On August 16th, 2026, protect your attention. Protect your money. Protect your emotional energy. Listen carefully to conversations. Remain open to unexpected opportunities. But don't allow excitement to replace judgment. If a new person enters your life, get to know them. If an opportunity appears, investigate it. If someone from the past returns, remember what you learned. If an important conversation begins, listen as much as you speak. And if your intuition tells you that your current path needs to change, don't immediately reject that feeling simply because change feels inconvenient. Gemini, August 16th is not necessarily the day when everything changes around you. It may be the day when something changes inside your mind. And once your perspective changes, your choices begin to change. Once your choices change, your direction changes. And once your direction changes, your future can change with it. Sometimes a new chapter doesn't begin with a dramatic event. Sometimes it begins with one sentence, one conversation, one idea, one decision, one moment when you finally say, I see things differently now. And Gemini, that may be the most important thing August 16th brings you. Not an answer to every question, but a clearer understanding of which questions are worth asking next.